Devin, do you think anybody should not do a fellowship straight out of MS? Would you encourage some class of postgraduates to go straight into what they would like to do and not really pursue a fellowship at all?
So, Gaurav, it's a question which has to be seen in totality. As an MBBS, doing 5.5 years of an MBBS, another 2 or 3 years of a post graduation, you're at a stage of your life when your parents are pressurizing you to think beyond work, think in terms of having a partner. Now, some of these fellowship programs can be very tiring, and they don't allow you to think beyond yourself. Some of them are very selfish. From an individual perspective, they don't give you time. Now, this is a time when your parents say, hey, it's time you got married, it's time you move on in life. And perhaps, you also have somebody waiting who's not perpetually going to wait for you. So question is, do you want to balance that out? And I'm just saying, these are things you will keep in mind when you're looking at a perspective fellowship program. Does the fellowship allow me to get married? Does it allow me to live with my spouse? Will it allow me adequate time at home and still give me the confidence that I'm picking up enough? These are things that you will have to see in a larger perspective. Fellowship programs don't allow you leave. So how will you manage? I mean, I say this with regret that I didn't interact very much with my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. I hardly knew people on my wife's side of the family because I was just doing fellowships. And by the time I got home, there was a 5-year gap after having got married, and I hardly knew people on my wife's side of the family. I'm not proud of it, but I'm saying, these are things that you'll have to keep in mind. I had a 6-month-old daughter with whom I'd hardly met. I came back home, she was 3 years old. I missed out on that phase of life. So you will have to balance this need for a fellowship program. Life is to be seen in totality. You have to ask yourself, did I give enough to myself, to development of myself, my spouse and my family? And did I evolve spiritually? Because eventually in the years to come, you get a triangle with these factors. It should be equilateral. If any part of the triangle, you spend more time at work, that triangle gets disturbed. So you need to balance this out. And I can say this after having made mistakes over these years.
It's what he said, the isosceles triangle, what he's saying, equilateral triangle. I put it as a juggler, playing with not just three juggling balls, but you have 5, 6 of them at that stage in life. Finance, he did not speak about. Family, of course, he spoke about. And very valid points what you mentioned. And one ball goes off, the others will fall by themselves. And that's how you're juggling life at that stage, at a very important stage. And suddenly all your friends, and especially finance friends, are beginning to retire at that point in time. They're thinking within 5 years where they bought a villa and where they're going to retire. You're not even started making your first penny of your life. You still dependent on your parents for survival and a house and all. So that's a very personal factor. I know the stage has come right now that you can't survive in life without a fellowship. A fellowship is a must to survive in private practice because you're competing against the others. That's what the stage has come out to be in metros at this point in time. There are so many fellows who trained across the country, and now there are absolutely replicas coming up big time. So there is no choice. So the residency program has to get updated big time to see that they get matured, and after that they take a fellowship. But I won't take time on that. I want to hear Sir's point of view.